Hi, it's Coach Steve from LAFA here, Westchester, PA. Getting a few questions from parents and coaches on guidelines as far as selecting a helmet for players. So we're going to do a short video here, run through some of the brands, features of the helmets, and hopefully give you a better understanding on how to select a helmet for a player.
Okay, when playing LAFA football, the player, or by extension the parent, needs to provide themselves with a white helmet, white colored helmet. The face mask color should be black, gray, or white. You'll see here there's some decals on the helmet. These will be provided by the league, and they'll help you put them on the helmet. They'll help the player get those on the helmet. Some things to look for in the helmet. The helmet should have an initial season date. You can see this initial season date is 2023. And the helmet manufacturers typically recommend that after every 2 years, you get a recondition or refurbished on the helmet. Typically, that's done either direct with the manufacturer, or they may have a list of authorized distributors that do that. So if you're buying a used helmet or buying or getting a helmet from a sibling, relative, friend, whatever, you should check the back of that helmet date. Again, the helmet sticker on the back will have the initial season. So if the season is 2014 or older, that helmet should not be used. Most helmet manufacturers will recommend after a 10-year use or 10-season use that the helmet no longer be used.
So let's start with the Schutt brand. The Schutt brand, very common in youth sports. It's also used in the NFL. For the youth range, they have two models. They have the Youth Vengeance A11 and they have the Youth F7 LX1. The A11 is very common. I've seen it in lots of youth leagues, teams that use it. It's a decent model. It's relatively budget friendly, and again, very, very common with teams that I've seen. Schutt's uprated model is what they call the F7. So the F7, what you're getting is a what they call flex plate, or in their terms, they call three-dimensional movement tectonic plate. And essentially what this does is when there's impact to the helmet, this plate flexes and absorbs some of the force. You can see here that it is considerably more expensive. So for parents looking to offer or provide their child with a uprated helmet, going with the Schutt brand, this would be the option to consider.
So I have a Schutt A11 here that belongs to one of our players. Again, very common design helmet that I see used at the youth level. Pretty standard helmet. You'll see that these chin straps, pretty common in the helmet industry using this type of chin strap connection. You'll see on the inside of the helmet, it has a pad matrix in there for the player comfort and protection. You see here these jaw pads are pretty common and transferable with the different types of Schutt helmets. One thing I have found in the past experience is these jaw pads tend to come apart easily. They'll split right here. These jaw pads can be purchased in different sizes to accommodate the player's head and sizing and face a little bit better. They can come in thicker sizes. I think this is the thinnest size, but they also have thicker sizes to fit the player. So again, this is very common helmet. You'll probably run across it at, if you're buying a used helmet, you usually can find them at Dick's Sporting Goods, places like that. Basic helmet, usually pretty budget friendly, and it's, again, the base option from Schutt. I don't have the F7, but again, that would be the up-rated or better version going with the Schutt brand.
Okay, so let's move to the Riddell brand. Riddell is probably one of the most common helmet brands in both pro and youth sports. I don't have the stats on how many of players in each type of level of football use these, but again, very common. And you can see here they actually have four helmet models that are currently offered. Their base models are the Victor I, Speed Classic Youth, and then their uprated models are the Speed Icon Youth and the Speed Flex Youth. The base model that I would probably recommend going with is this Speed Classic Youth. I did talk to a Riddell rep earlier this year, and he had recommended that as a base model, and then one of these types of helmets as an uprated model if the parent chose to get that. So let's just take a look at this Speed Classic Youth. Again, you see here, unfortunately, I don't have any Riddell models to show you live, but over the video at the time of this video, but they use the standard chin strap and face mask connections. It has a padding on the inside, a little bit like the Schutt helmet. Like most models of helmets, you can modify the jaw pad size to suit the fit to the player. And I see it here for $239.99 on the Riddell site, but there should be avenues where you can get that for a less expensive price. So let's take a look at the uprated Riddell model, which is the Speedflex or the Speedflex Youth. Spent a little bit of time in this model because it tends to be popular with the younger players. No doubt part of that is it's a very common helmet in the NFL. The distinguishing feature is this piece right here. And what this piece does, it's a little bit like the flex plate on the Schutt F7 in that it absorbs some of the impact by flexing or moving when there's impact to the helmet. Some other features with the Speedflex is you see these cam lock fittings to hold in the face mask. I'm familiar with these helmets. We've had them before with some of our players, and I do like this cam lock fitting. They tend to come less loose or be less tendency to become loose, and keeping the face mask affixed. The other good feature, interesting feature of this helmet is you'll see here they have a little bit different chin strap system where it works like almost like a ratchet, and this allows for faster and more finite adjustments of the chin strap. So it's a little better for fitting, stays on a little bit better, and it's a nice feature. You also have the padding system within the Speedflex is very nice. It's a little bit more padding. Thicker padding than probably their base helmets. The other feature on this helmet, and also on the base Riddells for that matter, is you'll see here it has a air fit liner. So there's actually a point on the helmet where you can pump some air into the helmet, and that helps customize the fit, helps with the protection system. Like the other helmets we've talked about, you can adjust some of the padding like the jaw pads to suit the fit to the player. Last brand we're going to spend some time on is the Zenith brand. Going to spend a little bit more time on this helmet brand because I'm a little more familiar with it. It's what my son uses and a brand I'm very familiar with, and the different models they have. Also, it is for most people a lesser known brand in the helmet industry. They are a newer company relative to, say, Riddell and Schutt. They offer really three models. The base model, which they call an X2E. They have their Shadow and Shadow XR, which are uprated. When I spoke to the Zenith rep last year, he said these two models, the Shadow Youth and Shadow XR Youth, are quite similar, and you would be just fine going with the Youth. So for this video, we're just going to go over the X2E and the Shadow Youth. The base technology in the Zenith, which makes it a little more unique to other helmets, is they utilize in their helmet a shock absorber system. So if you were to look inside the helmet, they have a base chassis in there, and then it has these shock absorber looking things that are affixed to the shell of the helmet. And so they use these shocks to absorb direct force, but also rotational forces to the head. So I do have two of these helmets available, the base X2E and the Shadow Youth. So let's go take a look at those.
So I have here a Zenith X2E helmet. This belongs to one of our younger players in the league, later players. And you see here, it's a pretty traditional looking helmet. It has, again, the very standard chin strap, snaps, standard face mask attachments. One thing that's different about these helmets we talked about is the shock absorber system. So if you look inside the helmet, you can see these right here are actually hard to see here with the video, but the fitting pads. And if you look carefully in here, you can see right here is these shock absorbers. that you saw earlier in the screenshots from the manufacturer's website. It does have jaw pads you can adjust the side to. Another unique feature about the Zenith is the chin strap actually has what they call an adaptive fit. So if you look at this chin strap, you'll see that it actually wraps all the way around in the back. And it has a fitting pad here, if I can get that is affixed to the chin strap. And so what happens is when the player puts on the chin strap, it cinches the inside of the helmet around the player's head for a little bit better fit. One thing I didn't talk about in the other helmet videos is the chin strap. So this particular model has a hard chin cup or chin strap, and it's something that I would recommend for parents getting their kids a helmet. It's just a little bit better layer of protection, a little harder layer of protection. The Schutt helmet that I had last actually has a that player upgraded they had a soft chin strap. They upgraded that with a Under Armour one that's harder. One disadvantage of the Zenith helmets is these chin straps are proprietary. You see they have the way the strap is designed, the chin strap is designed. It won't really work with other helmet models. So the chin straps, you're kind of stuck with the ones that Zenith sends you. But again, the ones with the chin cup, the hard chin cup, are actually quite good. So the other Zenith model I have here is the Shadow, Youth Shadow. You'll see here it has pretty similar fixture points for the face mask, chin strap. What are you getting when you get this model? It's more expensive than the X2E. What are you actually getting out of it? If you look in the back here, you'll see the chin strap pad in the back is a little different. It's a little bit more of a molded. Sorry, the lighting is not outstanding here. Let's see if I can add the light there. That's better. So if you see here, we got a little bit different pad design in the back. You'll see you have here these fitting pads. One thing that Zenith can do is you can actually get these what they call snug fitting pads. So if I lift up here, you can see there's a place to put extra padding so you can modify the fit or the inside of the helmet. You can also modify again this one has the thinner jaw pads. You can get those of various thicknesses. The one main difference you get with the Shadow versus the X2E is there are more of these shock absorbers. So it's the same type of system, but it just has more of those shock absorbers. One maybe disadvantage of getting the uprated Shadow is it is actually heavier than the base X2E. So when we talked to the Zenith rep last year, he had actually recommended the X2E for the younger or newer players, the lighter players, because that helmet model is lighter. And the lighter helmet would facilitate maybe better form and keeping their head up a little better. And also the cost is better. And the safety rating is, well, we're going to go over these Virginia Tech ratings a little bit later in the video, but they're actually quite similar. So again, this is the uprated model. You can see the design is a little non-traditional. It has sort of a little bit of a weird shape to it compared to a traditional helmet. But it is a heavier model, more expensive model. And really, again, the main difference is that shock absorber system inside, and again, the chin strap system underneath.
So let's, one of the last things we'll go over here is the Virginia Tech helmet rating system. You may have heard me reference it a couple times in the previous parts of the video. So Virginia Tech University does a study on helmets of all types: hockey helmets, varsity pro helmets, youth football helmets, bicycle helmets. And what they do is they have a testing system. You can see here they subject the helmet to a variety of tests, and then they assign the helmet a rating, with the lowest rating being the best, the highest rating being the worst, and they assign it a 1 to 5 star system. So if we look at these helmet ratings, we don't want to use this helmet rating system as the ultimate authority in which helmet is best. It's just one other set of data that you can take a look at when doing a researching ideas for your child's helmet. One of the things that this Virginia Tech can be a little confusing is, you see earlier we referenced 2 to 3 or 4 models from each brand, and you go through this list and you see there's many helmets. Light is a helmet brand that we didn't talk about in the video. You'll see some models that aren't sold anymore. For example, the Youth Epic Plus, I don't see the Youth Vengeance A3 Plus. I do see the helmets, but I don't see them sold anymore. You'll also see that there's some confusion. You'll see here that, for example, they have Riddell Speedflex Diamond Youth. I've never actually seen that for sale. And down here they have a Riddell Youth Speedflex. So what you really need to do is take a look at the individual helmet. For example, let's click on the Riddell Speed Classic Youth, and you'll see here that it's the 2023 model. They tested the model in 2023. You'll see here they also take a look at the helmet weight, so that's something you can look at when you are on this site. You'll see here the site's right here. I'll highlight it. You can pause that to get that helmet site. And you see here the top 10 helmets. Visus is a brand we didn't talk about. I didn't bring those brands up because they're very expensive. The only way I can see you buying them is I think you can buy direct from their website. They are getting more popular in NFL. Pat Mahomes wears one, for example. Other models you'll see here, you'll see the Zenith models. It's one of the reasons why several of our players have them. You can see they have, out of the top 6, they have 3 helmets in this top 6 ranking. You see the Schutt F7, the Speed Classic. There's the Schutt A11 that we talked about. And you'll notice that even though it's 14 on the list, it's still a 5-star helmet. And in fact, if you go down here, you'll see that really almost all the helmets they tested until you get to number 25 are 5-star rated helmets. So again, use this Virginia Tech data as one thing to look at. Don't use it as the ultimate authority, but it's good to look at, good as part of your research. So take a look at it and add that to your decision making for selecting a helmet. So where to buy the helmet? One obvious channel is Dick's Sporting Goods. Most of us have probably shopped there at one point or another. You can see here they carry several of the brands that we talked about, Zenith, Riddell, Schutt. They carry some of the brands we didn't talk too much about, like the Visus and the Light brand that I referenced in the Virginia Tech study. LAFA will provide a discount code, I believe, or coupon that you can use to buy not only the helmet but other football-related equipment. And that hopefully should be going out shortly. It'll be emailed by the league for players who have registered.